Good morning. Welcome to Money Markets and Motivation with Mike. Today's word of the day is pellucid. Pellucid is our word of the day, which means translucently clear, lucid in style or meaning, easily understood, of music or other sound, clear and pure in tone. So, pellucid glass dome lets sunlight stream into the atrium. So there we have our word of the day. And we're going to go move over to our heat map here. We're going to refresh it, make sure we're looking at the latest data. So NVIDIA bounces today. Most of the semiconductors do, except for AMD. Some of the other big cap tech stocks are mixed. Asset management is seeing a move. We got some movement in financials, communication services, industrials, real estate, and utilities. So that is where we are there. Let us go over and take a look at our crypto. Bitcoin is on the move today, up to about 117. It's not really showing here yet. Try to refresh this. Here we go. Bitcoin's up a little over 117. XRP is now over $3. So that is where we are on our crypto map. I'm going to stop the share right now. I'm going to go over to our advertisement of the day. So, we think this should be a part of everybody's portfolio, not a whole part, but at least some. Because it goes up when the market goes up, and it does not go down when the market goes down. And it creates kind of like an ascending pattern here. Beats index investing by about 5% per year. This is fixed index annuity. We're not talking about the other types of annuities. But if you ever want to learn more about this, feel free to reach out to me. And that is our story with that one. I'm not sure if this picture had actually gone up. The share didn't go through, but picture is worth 1,000 words, they say. This is a stair-step ascending action. So now we are going to move over to our charts. Here we go. This chart is a little shy today. Let's see if we can bring it up. I'm going to pause for a second till our chart is able to be visually seen. So here we go with American Superconductor. We added this, I believe is on this day, continues up. Nice little move here, breaking out, up 5.67%. It has just moved into the power trend today. Let us go over to our indexes. This is the NASDAQ. We got a gap up today, up 1.21%. Volume is a little low at the moment, but it may pick up a little later. Selling volume was a little heavier yesterday, although it did bounce back. So that could be like a pink rally day. This is the equal weight in the NASDAQ. Gaps up and gets into the pivot zone. Up 1.42% today. That is a very healthy move. Once again, the volume is a little bit muted. Onto the S&P 500. Uh, Looks like a slight gap up 0.63%. Onto the equal weight in the S&P, up 0.73%. That is, and the volume is much stronger than the other indexes, so that looks good. Onto the Russell Small Cap 2000 index. Look at that, up 2.03%. I'm just going to show this is MicroStrategy still in this account. And look at that big move in MicroStrategy today, up 7.33%. I noticed it hadn't really moved much when Bitcoin moved up to 116, but somebody is doing a lot of buying today. And we did buy as well. So let us go over to the Dow Jones. Up 0.37% today. So that is our story there. We're going to now go over to the sub-indexes. This is ETF for nuclear and uranium. We kind of profiled that yesterday, up 2% today. Financials, up slightly, up 0.39%. Look at the one where we take Warren Buffett's fund out and Visa and MasterCard, and we're up 1% on this banking ETF. Energy is kind of muted. Let's go over to the VIX, should be down. We've got to adjust our screen to actually see it. So the VIX was down further today, but it pops back up to the 50-day. It's actually showing it's up 4.6% today. Interesting. It's not exhibiting that on the chart, really. We'll take your word for it. Not sure why it's not coming up on the chart. Moving on. We're on to the 10-year Treasury. Look at that move in the 10-year Treasury. Up a little over 1%. That definitely looks like a breakout from a shelf pattern. On to the 20-year. 20-year is gapping up 1.61% today, up to 3.40% interest. And here is the bonds. They gap down in price. Down, if you were selling, yesterday would have been a good day to sell at $903, and now it's down to $892, $893, down 1% today. On to aerospace is up 0.85% today. Communications up slightly. Meta is up 1.06. Google, pretty flat for the day. T-Mobile, up slightly. AT&T, say, take a look at Comcast. It is pulling down. Charter Communications. It is down 0.41. That's a look at the communications group. Onto utilities. Sold off initially, and then they're bouncing back pretty strong, up 0.43%. Real estate up 0.31, mainly the REITs. Biotech, it's a pretty strong bounce here, up 1.78% today. Our other biotech, we got 2 or 3 biotechs in the top 10 where big money is flowing, up 1.15%. Software got a gap up and move into the pivot, up nearly 2% on the day. Take a look at Dave. Dave is up nearly 3% on the day. Technology got a gap up and up nearly 2% on the day. Infrastructure up 1.67%. Take a look at road. Road is up close to 4% on the day. SMH. Look at that one. Gaps up 4.23%. Take a look at NVIDIA. Up 3.5%. Broadcom up only 0.14%. There. Just take a look at this other chart. Holy cow. Not sure what's going on with Intel today, but they're up like 27%. Huge gap up. 28%. That's where the big movement in this ETF is. Micron, which we added last Monday, is up another 6% today. On semiconductor is up 4.57%. So that's what's happening in this sector. Airlines holding steady up 0.19%. Industrials up 1.12%. Deere up 1.6. Caterpillar, look at that move by Caterpillar, up close to 3%. See if we can see United Rentals. It's not showing in here. Here we go. Up 1.85% on United Rentals. Healthcare, pretty flat. And let us move on to consumer sector. Falls 0.5%. Consumer discretionary is up 0.17. Take a look at Amazon, up close to 0.6%. Tesla, a little bit of a sell-off in Tesla, 0.73%. Take a look at Tesla's competitor here. BYD up 0.62% today. Building materials up 0.2%, initially sold off and bounced off of their 50-day moving average. Mining and metals, they're up 0.84%. Home builders, you get a little bit of a bounce after this long, steady sell-off, up 0.91%. And then finally, uranium is up 2.65%. The leader in uranium is up 0.76. And our small miner is pulling back a little bit. Energy fuels holding steady. So that is a story there. Let us go over to where the big money has been flowing today. Interesting. Well, they did move around a little bit. RMBS breaks above 100. So this is another semiconductor moving on the rate. Western Digital up 4.7%. American Superconductor we looked at before, almost up 7%. Solaris Energy, infrastructure. I'm getting close to a breakout here. Pretty good volume. Look at all this volume right here. All these blue bars, blue towers. So we had a double bottom here, right here, here, and here. And so where do you buy off of double bottom? 10 cents above the middle of the W. So that would have been $32.12. Right in here, up 7.67%. Can't really tell. Maybe if I clear the screen, if I can tell if it's in a power trend or not. It's really hard to tell after. It looks like it may have just gone into a power trend today. Right over here, you see the green above the pink line. So that wouldn't have been a power trend, but it looks like it is just cleared into that area today. Tudor Perini, general contracting. It's moving on up 3.91%. That is definitely in a power trend. We see the 10-day above. So it went into a power trend right over here. And it has just been creeping up ever so slightly. ASML, the Dutch manufacturer of semiconductors, up about 7% today. Nova, Israeli provider of dimensional methodology solutions, breaking out of the pivot zone of 4.24%. Looks like it just went into the pivot zone or the power trend right here, 272.39. Advanced Energy Industrials broke into the pivot zone today. Look at this. 54% earnings increase this year and another 16% next year. Beating on earnings per share. I guess it does. There we go. It's beating 88% of all the stocks on the market. Just went into a new high. This blue relative strength rating went into a new high. Doesn't look like it's quite in the power zone. It may have just gone to the power zone today. These are all positive results for moving into this company. This was a number one yesterday and then number one earlier today, but it has been overtaken. Sub 7.31%. Just went into a power zone yesterday. And look at all these blue bars. Manufactures lithium batteries. KLA 10 core, or I guess it's just KLA right now. It's no longer 10 core, but it's up 8.5%. Gaps up. Gets pretty close to the profit zone here. AECOM in the infrastructure area. Zooms up, getting pretty close to the profit zone, up 5% today. I'm just going to scan. Oh, interesting. AV, drone maker, getting pretty close to the right side of its breakout here into the pivot zone. 296 would be the buy point in the pivot zone. Early buy could have been yesterday as it moved up. Got a lot of blue volume here. Got Jabal. And here are all the leaders yesterday in quantum computing. Here we got CrowdStrike, interesting. Getting a little action again. Look at that big move in CrowdStrike, gapped up 11% on the day. It has definitely recovered from its difficulties for the airlines. Here's INQ again. These therapeutics were in the top 10 earlier today. This was up 6.5%. Dry strip processing equipment for fabrication of, I guess this is in biotech, but this one is, it's up 5.66%. We got a lot of blue bars here. Nectar Therapeutics. Look at that move, up 11.63%. As they say, that's not your Aunt Linda buying. Corcept, another biotech on the move, up a little over 3%. Here is Strategy. Gets above the 200-day moving average. It's a pretty powerful move after it's been stuck down here. I'm going to pause for a second to see if I can find any news on Intel.